Hi guys, this is Zach from Watches on You, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Nomos Tetra series, specifically the Neomatik watches. We'll have the white dial, the midnight blue, and then the brand new silver cut from their At Work collection. So now, let's go down to the table and get you guys a look at it. Okay guys, here are the watches in greater detail, and right away here I'm going to go over just all three of the watches quickly, and then I'm going to go more in depth into one just to give you the bigger stats to each of them. So here is the white dial version of this watch. Now this is the most clean and simple, as you just have your cream color dial and then black indices with very little other color. You have an orange second hand there, which looks very nice. Also, at 6 o'clock they gave a little orange indice right there, but then you can see going around the edges at each of the larger indices there is a smaller one in a nice light blue color, adding a little bit more color to the dial, which gives it a nicer look in my opinion. So here's the white dial. This is, I'd say, is the best to accompany, say, a suit or something. It's just more simple, more of a dressier piece. So now here is the midnight blue configuration, and you get this very dark, basically navy blue dial color, which looks very, very nice. This is a little bit less dressier of a piece, but obviously you can see it could still fit a suit very, very well, as the Tetra is, I'd say, one of the more dressier pieces Nomos makes. Now it has a beautiful bright orange second hand there, but as you can see, since this has a darker dial, it pops a lot more, and also that same marking at 6 o'clock pops a lot more, and even the light blue does, and I really like that. It just makes it look a little bit funkier, makes it look more interesting. So this would probably be the dial combo I would go with, but there's also a third. So here is the silver cut dial, which is part of Nomos' brand new At Work collection. And what this is it actually has a metal dial, and you can see that there's great graining right there, which gives it obviously an extremely unique look, as there are very few watches out there that have a dial that look quite like this. It has a beautiful it has a nice contrast between the main dial and then the sub-dial seconds, as you can see that the texture completely changes, and that allows it to be read a lot easier than if it was just a second hand on the same texture. And you can also see that again it exhibits the bright orange second hand, making the dial pop a little bit more, and this one also has blued hour and minute hands, unlike the other two, which again gives the dial more color, and I really like that, as the silver kind of drowns out the black a little bit, but since they gave it a little bit more color on this one, I think it looks very, very nice. But the watch I'm actually going to use to go more in depth is going to be the midnight blue. So this watch is 39 millimeters, but being a square watch, that doesn't really mean that much, as I'll show you in the wrist shot where you'll get a better sense of the size of this piece. So now, since I've already really explained the dials to you, I'll explain the cases. So the cases are all stainless steel, and obviously you can see it's in a square shape. Square watches haven't been, I'd say, the most popular watches in recent times, but this watch really kind of gives it a nice retro look. This has a very nice retro look, and it's been appealing to a lot of people, and I can definitely see why. It just looks a lot more unique than a lot of other watches out there, and I think it would turn heads a little bit more, just being that it is a non-circle watch, is basically like every other piece. Now, this watch also has the Nomos Neomatik movement, which is their pretty much new. It came out a decent amount of time ago, but it's still pretty new. It's their basically all new in-house movement. It's very much in-house. A lot of their other movements use some in-house and then some generic parts. This one is really all in-house, and Nomos has done a really good job with it. Now you can see the finishing of it on the clear sapphire case back. You can definitely see the Geneva striping there, the blued screws, and the rubies that are exhibited on the main plate there, and you can also see the automatic rotor. Now the finishing on this for a watch of this price is very, very good. I would say it's not really rivaled by anyone at this price point. It's not up to the quality of like Patek Philippe, but obviously that's magnitudes of sorry, that's a lot more expensive of a watch. So it still looks very, very good overall, though. You can see that beautiful balance wheel right there. There's some perlage behind that, and the finishing on this, I'd say, at this price category is really unrivaled. So now we're going to move on to a wrist shot. Now, this watch, Nomos says, is 39 mils, and that is kind of hard to understand the size with the square watch, so this wrist shot will really give you a nice look into what it actually looks like on the wrist. The pin buckle on Nomos, though, I will mention, is sometimes a little hard to work with, as it has two bars that overlap the strap, and then it has the one that holds it down. So they're kind of hard to use, but they're very comfortable on the wrist. So here's the watch. Nomos says it's a 39, and that fits, I'd say, about a 39, maybe a 38 millimeter circle, like circular watch size, the standard. You can see it's not a huge watch. I have a 7-inch wrist, so I use that for reference, but it fits very well. It's extremely thin, which is very nice. It won't really get caught in your collar very much, or it shouldn't. And yeah, very, very comfortable, and it has a Horween leather strap, which is actually horse leather, and that's extremely comfortable, and it has a very unique texture, and I really like it. So overall, this watch is available here at JB Hudson for $3,900, brand new. They're an authorized dealer of all Nomos watches, and actually the price of this they're all exactly the same price. So you can get the silver cut dial, you can get the white dial, you can get the midnight blue. I like the midnight blue, but you can all get them for the same price of $3,900, and for a watch with a in-house movement and this level of finishing, that is actually a great price, and I'd say it's a great option for you if you're looking for more of a dressier piece. I think this would be great to add to your collection. So thank you for watching this video, and remember to see our others and subscribe. Thank you.